Thank you for staying with us. We begin with the ruling of the 2023 Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, which was delivered during the week. The five-man panel dismissed the petitions filed by candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and the Labour Party, Peter Obi, for failing to prove claims of irregularities against President Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the February 25th elections. All five members unanimously affirmed Bola Tinubu as the validly elected president of Nigeria. Atiku and Obi have rejected the judgment and vowed to challenge it at the Supreme Court. Now, joining me to discuss this is Kalijai Paul, a member representing Ifelodunwa Jeremy Federal Constituency, with me in the studio. Good to have you on the program.
Yeah, good evening, and it's nice being with you.
Welcome. And of course, joining us via Zoom, of course, is a lawyer, and his name is Olayinka Ola Daniels. And hopefully I'll be getting the feeds that he's on, but we're still trying to connect with him. But in the meanwhile, let's begin with Kalijai right here. Kalijai, we have 21 days for them to refile and go to the Supreme Court, apparently. Now, with the same evidence and what the judges looked at during the Election Petition Tribunal, now the court noted some paragraphs of the petition that were deemed vague and generic. Now, what outcome was your opposition expecting from this whole scenario?
Yes, let me explain to Nigerians and the entire world that why do people go to tribunal? We must establish that parameter very clearly. And then, why do people go to tribunal? They go to tribunal to have some are genuine, seekers who are seeking equity, fair play, justice. That's the first point of call for why people go to tribunal. Secondly, some people go to tribunal for the purpose of attention seeking. They just want to seek attention of the entire world, and then their names are mentioned. They have all the resources in the whole world to play with and say, okay, let's play on. Some go to tribunal for the purpose of mesmerization. They want to mesmerize the opposition. You need to give them trouble. Even when you are in power, they don't want you to have peace of mind to run government. They want to hold you down so that the government will not be able to perform. So it's also a clog for them to hold those in power against performance so that they can have a better opportunity next time. So there are so many reasons why people go to tribunal. And secondly, you also want to look at why are tribunals established. Tribunals are established for the purpose of ensuring that we have peace in the nation. If tribunals do not exist, then people say, if you don't like the police, try the hooligans and see the difference. So if the tribunals do not exist, people will not have a place to seek redress, and then we can have peace in the nation. They will have resulted to anarchy, pandemonium, protests, all kinds of things that are not democratic in nature. So existence of tribunal are germane and very essential to our democracy. Right. Then also, tribunals are also established for the purpose of bridging the gap between the time when you are grieved and the time when your grievances are coming down. Sometimes some people go to tribunals and say, look, after a while, say, look, let there be peace. So it's like two people trying to quarrel. By the time they say, don't fight, everybody is dissipating energy. But if you allow them to have an end-on collision, when you hit this one and feel that the hand is stronger, it will have an adjustment. So many reasons why they go to court. So what do the opposition want? You can premise it from those dimensions that are, that are put before Nigerians to say why people go to. So you can pin them. Now you need to pin all those who are going to tribunals, whether by appeal or whatever, and situate them. Some want to keep their supporters on hold. They want to perpetually hold on to their supporters to say, don't worry, we are still there. Oh, don't worry, the next few months we shall be in power. So some are even some are profiting from going to tribunals. Some have sponsors. They have people who are just money people, just go ahead. So when they stop going to tribunal, they will not get finances from their sponsors. So, and unfortunately, we have come in this climb of the nation to believe that Yeah, going to tribunal, some people have myopic impression. Oh, the man I'm supporting won the election. And so they have that belief. Whether you give judgment, as long as it does not favor them, that judgment cannot be right.
So from what you have expressed so far, it's clear that the petition was not weighty enough to even be in court in the first place. Is that what you're saying?
I've asked you to fill in the gap. You see, as a politician, as an academic, as a journalist, and as an analyst, we don't just jump to conclusion. We don't conclude for people. We allow people to conclude on their own. So if you look at the analysis I've given, you can situate whether they have genuine cases or not. But I must confess, some may have genuine cases. But what is backing you is what faces me. And then you cannot be a judge in your own court. The way you see things is not the way the legal eye looks at things, not by not by emotions, not by sentiments, not by belief or whatever, but by what is right and what is factual. So there is a difference between what is right and what is factual, and what is good or what is bad. So all of these come to play. And by way of perception, perception can be stronger than reality. Some people are, they perceive, their perception is very strong as to say, I'm a supporter of team A and supporter of team B. When the teams play, whether it's Eyimba, I don't want to go to international parlance, whether it's Eyimba or our local team, once you are a supporter of A or B, you always want A or B, the one you are supporting, to win. And no matter how bad they are, you still want to tolerate them and see something good of them. But when the opposition is there, you don't want to say anything good. So those are the kind of characters that are situated in our democracy, in our polity.
Now, with what you have just said, it's obvious that they do not agree with what has happened so far, and that is why they are heading to the Supreme Court. Now, do you think they have a chance going to the Supreme Court? Because obviously they feel, look, we've been cheated out of this justice. Let's go to the Supreme Court and finally make our case. Do you think they have a case to fight when they get there?
I honestly don't think they have. And I'll tell you why. I may be wrong. I'm not a judge, and I'm not God. But I'll tell you some of the reasons why I think they are not right. They are not likely to get something different. One, that judgment was unanimous. There was no dissenting voice among the 5 judges. And look at the pattern, a judgment that was used for almost about 12 hours. And it's also good that the judgment was beamed live. And for those who have ears, let them hear. That's the essence of beaming it live. And you can see that by paragraph, we explained what A filed, what B filed, what C filed, what is the opinion, what is their opinion, and then what does the law say, and what does the judges say. Those are things, and they were very analytical about issues, and it's not as if you said this and was not reported at the tribunal judgment. So the judgment was very meticulous, it was very painstaking, it was quite interesting for us to see that our judicial system has grown in leaps and bounds. We have moved away from, when I had my own case in the tribunal and I was waiting for the judgment, and the first 30 minutes I thought it was going to be over, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, for almost 4 hours. That's a judgment that concerns the Federal House of Representatives. It was delivered in 4 hours. Our judges have moved up. We just need to encourage them so that we don't go on a monologue kind of justice, so that we can equip our judicial system in terms of modern, facilities for them to have speed, accuracy in terms of their judgment. But I say that I don't see anything quite hopeful in. But then it's an exercise to some people, and I tell you, some take joy in doing it. They have intrinsic satisfaction. Oh, Yes, when A happened to A, he went to Supreme Court. And then sometimes also the lawyers will say, I'm not a lawyer, who say that it's better to ventilate it to the Supreme Court. That it's better for us to test our judicial system and also have more purposeful opinions, so that let's seek another opinion. So fine, is their right, fundamental right, to go to court.
All right. Thank you for staying with us. During the week, the Nigeria Labour Congress asked workers under its affiliate unions to return to work. This came after the end of the union's two-day warning strike, which it claimed was meant to draw the attention of the government to the hardship being faced by Nigerians as a result of the petrol subsidy removal. Now, of course, stay with me to discuss this is Kaijai Paul, still right here in the House, a member representing a fellow Dua Jeremy, of course, federal constituency right here. Now, Kaijai, very easy.
I represent Nigeria, fellow, not the fellow Nigeria.
Okay, sorry about that.
So that my constituents don't take me up.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right, the head of service in Ondo reported that the NLC didn't inform the state government of a warning strike. And since this wasn't communicated to them, the workers should return to their duty posts. Now, from the disharmony we saw over the week with this whole situation, do you sense a disharmony within the NLC body itself right now?
You see, there is no body that has a wholesome harmony.
Right.
Even our body system, the body mechanism.
Sometimes there's a fast one on us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When the head is going right, the brain is thinking left. You don't understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So we cannot get 100% wholesome body of the labor unions. There are bad legs. There are people also, not because they are bad legs, there are some people who are not convinced of the exercise itself. Some people see the exercise as an exercise in futility. That why waste our time? Some people even believe that the union's leaders are probably not really serious, that they're just doing negotiations, party, or whatever. Yeah. When you're a labor union leader, people, the way they see you, even when you are dying for them, they believe you are shortchanging them behind the closed doors. Because they are not behind the closed doors. They are not there. They don't know what happens. All they see is they communicate and then whatever. And then so when they are also working conscientiously for the workers, some don't even believe them. Why some, even when they are not even working conscientiously for the workers, some people outside say, Babake, well done, right done, fight down. Some people take joy in anarchy. They take joy in acrimony, in chaos. That's when some people don't even want to go to work. So it's an holiday. So many reasons. So for me, I do not feel that having some skirmishes or some kind of fallout among the Nigerian workers in terms of their union decision, go on strike, don't go on strike, and then when the government is telling them they did not give enough notices, come off it, please.
All right.
The notices are on the eyes of Nigerian workers. It's on the eyes of the Nigerian people. So we cannot pretend not to see it. If they don't speak it, we can see it. The Nigerian workers are suffering, and we must do something.
All right. Well, we have our Zoom guest standing by, Olayinka Ola Daniels. Good to have you join us. Thank you for staying with us so far. We're discussing the NLC, and the question on the front burner right now is, the government obviously is still mediating to ease the pain, especially with the palliatives and aids sent across different states. Now, do you think the NLC is being inconsiderate with their push despite efforts by the federal government to contain this obvious hardship?
Well, personally, I feel that NLC needs to do better than what they are doing today. In as much as we understand that, okay, they have the masses at heart and they're trying to make sure that everybody is fine. But the truth is, at the moment where we are, except we're going to be deceiving ourselves, except we're going to be lying to ourselves, we can all see as a nation where we are needs a serious attention. And what federal government is saying, if you look at it, we're still trying to, the federal government is still trying to work together, to see how they can ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians and to put up palliatives and, they know, but we all know that subsidy needs to go. Now, NSC coming on strike or going on strike will not in any way, give a positive impact to the nation because we know what that means. We know that this subsidy needs to go. And I'm sure if you ask any average Nigerian, they understand that subsidy needs to go. But where the issue is the measures being taken by federal government to see how they can, ease the tension, and the suffering of Nigerians, which the federal government is asking for time. We know that this thing is not going to be easy. We'll know starting it now, it is a long time thing. And I expect that NLC is in a better position to convince the populace, to convince the citizens, to make them understand why we need this particular time. We need this time to look at this critically and see how we can manage the situation pending this temporary time that the suffering may last for.
All right.
It's not for people. So I do not expect NLC to, going on strike or to be disrupting the economy of the nation, because it is not really adding any positive impact to the nation economically.
Okay, now, Kaijai, quickly. Now, the government has admitted to borrowing, right, to pay for subsidy and salaries. Now, which, of course, is fatal to the economy. Now, would the NLC be seen as anti-people if they are on the same page with the government in trying to make this work? Because they know that this is not working. The subsidy is not helping matters. So what's really the matter here?
Why do we have unions? The essence of unions is to serve as an intermediary between their workers and the government. And unions are meant to make the government see the unseen points on the part of government. But government is also established as an institution to bring sanity into the society, to weigh the options of reality and idealism. What is ideal? The ideal thing is to agree by all of us that workers are suffering. But what is the reality? The reality is that it's either we suffer today and maybe reap it later on. Remember the Biblical 7 years of famine, 7 years of abundance. That's the precipice in which we are now as a nation. It's either we endure this subsidy removal once and for all and get out of it over time, or we perpetually continue to deceive ourselves, live in fool's paradise, and expect that manners are going to fall from heaven. Manners no longer fall from heaven, unfortunately.
Lagos State records another win as the Blue Line Rail began commercial operations. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu took the inaugural ride before the passengers began to ride. Now, of course, earlier disclosed that though the train is electric, it would run on locomotive for the first 4 weeks of operation to allow the electric system to come up fully and sync properly with the physical infrastructure, adding that the plan is to allow passengers to get familiar with the rail system. And of course, I still have Kalejai in the house with me to discuss this. But let's quickly go to Ola Daniels now. Ola Daniels, the Lagos Blue Rail Line begins operations. And obviously, from the videos online, it's been all smiles, right? And, beautiful reactions from the passengers with those who actually boarded. From your perspective, how did you receive this beautiful news?
Well, for us, we receive it with all joy. It's a good one. A good development, and that's to tell you that some people are thinking and will say Lagos is working. It has to start somewhere, start from a particular place. And we can see with that, we know how peculiar Lagos State is when it comes to traffic and the road management. And having this Blue Rail, having a train in Lagos will ease a lot of traffic, a lot of tensions, For instance, a lot of people, we know the regular Lagos by day. How some people, suffer to get to their destination, to work, to home, to everywhere. And with what we have today, it is a great development. And I applaud the Lagos State government, and also I'm happy for all Lagosians or all the people that lives in Lagos, and that will be a beneficiary of this particular project. And I hope that there will be sustainability, and this will be there will be continuity also, because this is just the beginning. And I pray that we have more, even blue after blue, we have red line, we have all that, so that we can also, be placed apart with some developed cities, out there, some developed countries out there that this has been in existence for decades in those places, and we all go there, we enjoy it, we see it, so convenient. And if this is starting from Lagos, and I hope that also other states will take lead from Lagos, and maybe we will have a better Nigeria in few years to come on this.
Thank you very much. Now, Kalijaye, now the Lagos State governor was very firm about security, with the Nigerian police, neighborhood watch, and private security operatives on ground to actually coordinate, the situation. And this is obviously going to be a safety nest, because obviously people will be trooping in there. Now, should we be worried about congestion?
Yes, of course. Yes, we should be worried, but then we shouldn't be over worried. And I'll tell you why. The visionaries, those who envisioned what we are seeing today, from Ashwaju himself, who is a big visionary, who envisioned all of this concept, to BRF, who is a vision helper. BRF will tell us when I was in cabinet, and I was with him in the Lamata Technical Committee, working with him. He said, we see rails everywhere. This is not rock science. It's not a rocket science.
Yeah, can happen.
To even Ambode, who came in and did his own bit, and now to the actualizer. To Sanwo-Olu, the actualizer. The man who damned all the consequences, who went ahead and make sure that all these dreams become reality. I salute all of them. Why we said we shouldn't be over-worried is because it's not only the blue rail that is coming. The blue rail is there, the red is coming. So we're not looking at, that's just one axis of Lagos.
Okay.
So the other axes are coming. So by the time you have in the red line coming on board also, and then it's not going to end there. So by the time we develop, it's, because we miss the opportunity of what we would have done the days of Jack Hunday, the military, where they cancelled the metro line.
All right. Before we go, finally, because time is of essence, maintenance culture has always been a problem in this part of the world, right? So what measures should be put in place to improve on this?
You see, I don't believe, and from the knowledge that I have, even when the thing was conceptualized and we're working on it, I also believe that it's not going to be a maintenance that will be left in the hands of just anybody.
Okay.
It must come with maintenance agreements, and then those who brought the technology, those who must also be available. So it's going to come with maintenance agreement. I'm deadly sure about that.
All right, thank you very much, Kalijaye Paul, for your time. And of course, Ola Daniels, appreciate you for your presence as well. And of course, that's exactly our show for today. Remember, you can follow the conversation on our social media platforms at TVC News NG or on our website at tvcnews.tv. I am Mark Otabo, and until next week, goodbye.